Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Roundtable. My name is Robert Bannon. I hope you're listening to us on the Broadway Podcast Network or watching us over on the YouTube channel. You know, 54 Below is my favorite place to see a show in New York. It is literally Broadway's living room, and it is the honor to do a show there. And it is such a beautiful space with such beautiful people and amazing, legendary performers. Well, the Barricade Boys, coming all the way from the West End, coming from the UK, will be there for 2 nights, January 15th and 16th at 7 o'clock, which is the fancy time, for the fancy performers up. One day I'm going to have a 7 o'clock show, Scott and Simon. I swear I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there at 7 o'clock with my own show. And if I get my hair done right and get my tenor notes out right, maybe one day I could be a Barricade Boy. Scott and Simon are here. Welcome to the show. Yes.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fantastic.
That was a great introduction. Thank you.
I'm honored to talk to you both. There is so much blonde hair and blue eyes on the screen right now.
Mine's not blonde. Mine's just going grey. It looks blonde.
Listen, that is the best perk of being blonde, is that you don't see it as much, because mine is as well. You both have amazing careers over in the UK in musical theater. You have performed in some of the biggest shows. You guys as a group have performed in literally some of the biggest shows. And the word on the street is you, Scott and Simon, are the ones who created and came up with this idea. Scott, how did you decide to put together a boy group, a man group, and take over the musical theater world?
Well, when we started, we were definitely the Barricade Boys, and we're now much more the sort of the Barricade Men, should I say. You know what it was? It's it's like when you're doing shows, and it's great to get cast in big Broadway and West End shows and play roles, and all that stuff is amazing. But sometimes you want your own creative outlay. And me and Simon for a long time have been very good friends. We knew we wanted to produce something. And so I got this idea about maybe something relating to Les Mis. And together we created the Barricade Boys, and we booked a theatre, the Charing Cross Theatre in London's West End. And it sold out within like 2 weeks, and we put on this big show, and we were really excited, and it was amazing. It was an incredible night. And then nothing happened really for about 8 months. You sort of have this big excitement. You think, right, this is it, we're off. And then all of a sudden, it just bit by bit, it grew and grew, and the word got around, and we got invited to do more things. And 8 years later, only a couple of weeks ago, we appeared at the London Palladium. We did our own show in the Adelphi Theatre, which we sold out the end of last year, because we're now in a new year. And now we're touring lots of America, and it's our second time back to 54 Below. So we're really excited.
And you're back, Simon, you're back at 54 Below after selling out your 54 debut. And you're, as he just said, playing the Palladium, playing these places, these iconic performances. Tell us about the other boys in the group. Simon, where did you find them? What is it like to get on stage with your fellow brothers?
Well, we found them because they're mates, really. I mean, not just mates, but they are legendary musical theatre performers. I mean, Craig is the longest running Marius in the world. So we have him, he's amazing. And got Kieran Brown, who's done every musical you could name. He's probably done it. He's fantastic. And he's got such an incredible voice. And truly, they are best mates. And it's great to sing with them and tour with them. And we're very lucky. It's a shame if one of them is probably me. It's a shame that one of them isn't an idiot, because then it'd be a nightmare. So it's probably me.
I'm not saying anything.
It's me.
While we're talking, go to barricadeboys.com if you want information, or you could follow them at Barricade Boys on Instagram. And if you are in New York City, which I know you are, on the 15th and the 16th, it's 54below.org. Grab your tickets, come see them. It's nice and 7 o'clock. You'll be able to have a cocktail and a little something to eat and hear some amazing music. Scott, what is a concert like? What music are we going to hear? Are we going to hear Les Mis? Are we going to hear theater? Are we going to hear some pop music? Or what is it? What is a show with the Barricade Boys like?
It's a great question, and I think it's something that surprises most audiences that come and see us. We sort of make a joke in the show that for the next 6 hours, you're going to sit and just watch us ballad after ballad after ballad, because we've just been in Les Mis, and that's all we can do. But of course, that's not what we do. We try and give the kind of a show that me and Simon, when we first sat down, said, would we want to pay money and go and watch this kind of a show? And that was really the only requirement, was that if we thought it would be good, then surely there's people out there that would also feel the same as us. And so we, of course, do lots of musical theatre, all the big classics you'd expect, maybe with our own little twist, like Les Mis, for example. We don't sing any song from Les Mis that isn't a unique interpretation. So that might be Master of the House done as a kind of Michael Bublé big band number, or we have like I Dreamed a Dream done like an 80s rock ballad. You know, we try and change the way that we approach those particular songs. But then we do lots of pop and rock. We do Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen. We've got a Motown medley. We do a Mamma Mia medley, because who doesn't love some ABBA? So there's kind of a bit for everyone in there, really. We hope so, anyway.
I'm sold. I was reading the press release. I said, yeah, Jersey Boys, yes, The West Side Story, yes, Les Mis, yes, Billy, Elton, Queen. So you really give everybody a little bit of something. Simon, in the press release and in the clip, you all dance too. You're not just singing in harmony and belting and skrelting your faces off. There's some choreography. There is
some choreography. A lot of it's done by a gentleman called Liam Steele, actually. And he choreographed the movie. He's like Olivier Award winner, and a movie of Les Mis, that's correct. So a lot of the stuff that we do, he did. So it's like, we've not just done it. It's like, it's proper now. Like, and his stuff is hard, really hard. I think he won a Tony for, was it Company? I think on Broadway.
Maybe nominated. Yeah, he choreographed Company on Broadway. He choreographs our show. He's brilliant. So
yeah. So come on, people. This is like a full-blown entertainment extravaganza. We recently had on the cast of the Les Mis tour, and we talked to the director of the tour in the United States and the music director and the characters in it. And we were talking about these big juggernaut musicals that are big, really operas that are put up on stage. Scott and Simon, for a question for both of you. Scott, how do you, as a performer, take care of yourself? A lot of students, musical theater students, watch this. They talk about raspy voices and taking care of when you're tired or when you're nervous or when you have something going on. What's the trick about staying in tip-top, vocal shape?
Well, I think, a lot of people talk about, if you take some honey and lemon and all this stuff. And I just think that's kind of all a load of nonsense, because really that stuff doesn't go anywhere near your vocal folds. For me, it's about good rest and being hydrated. If you can get those two things spot on, you're going to be fine. And a show like Les Mis, where it's 3 hours of full on singing, and maybe it's twice in a day if you've got a matinee, it's just about building up that stamina, like any muscle. If I went running now, I would be out of breath within 3 seconds, because I am so unfit at the moment. But if I did that every day for the next 6 months, then by the time it comes to 6 months' time, I'm going to be running, hopefully, for an hour, because I'm doing it every day. And it's the same with singing a show like Les Miserables. In our country, we do year contracts, and then you can renew for another year. So when I did Les Mis, I was in that show for 2 years in the West End. And by the time I left, I felt that my voice was the strongest it had ever been, because it was like an athlete. I'd been working it every single day.
How about you, Simon?
Very similar. I would say, I don't warm up really at all. I just siren, and I know my voice is there. I think for me, if I do a big old warm up, which is what you're trained to do, and a lot of people do, and that's great, my voice at the end of it is almost tired. So when I come on, I make sure my voice is there, and I'll do a few little scales, nothing more than a minute. And then I know it's there, and off I go. But like Scott says, for me, if I'm rested and I drink a lot of water during the day, because it takes apparently 4 hours to get into your system, I'm good generally. But in Barricade Boys specifically, mine and Scott's lines are high. It's constant, everything, which is silly, really. Throughout the time we've gone, what's great? This is great. That's great. This is great. And then when we get in the room, it's, oh my, who's given us this? We have. Why?
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask you that, Scott. Who comes up with the vocal arrangements? And tell us a little bit about who's accompanying you at the show.
So we have an amazing musical supervisor who does a lot of our arrangements as well, a guy called James Doughty. He's incredible. He's kind of like our fifth Barricade Boy. That's what we say. We get so many compliments about the arrangements and the unique sound that we create when we do different songs. And all of that is down to James. He's amazingly talented. And when we tour, we tour the States, for example, we have like a big 7-piece band and we have screen content and different things. James is doing everything. He's like hitting the controls on the MacBook to get the screens going. He's playing. Sometimes he's talking in our ears, going, get ready, 1, 2, 3. So he's, I don't know how he does it, because all we've got to do is kind of hopefully stand and sing in the right position. And he's kind of the magician that's operating everything.
Amazing. Simon, you're talking about four guys on stage and singing in harmony at points and stuff like that. What do you do to get your parts down? Are you guys both naturally just I can pick up a harmony and be able to sing it? Are you someone who's listening to it, over and over again in your ear? What is the trick, Simon, to be a good harmony singer?
I would say 3 of the group have to do repetition. We've just got to get in a room, we get our track down, and then we just sing it and sing it and sing it and sing it. Craig is quite musical. He plays the guitar, the drums, the piano. So he can kind of come in the room and he knows it, so it's us that's holding him back. But for us, if we have a day and we just keep going over and over it, we've got it. We did it was the Horatio Alger Awards in Washington last year, and they sprang a song on us that we've never heard before. We had a day to learn it. And again, we're like, and it was in front of a lot of important people. So we got it down, and it was the best, I think they said they'd ever heard it. And I don't know if that was just because of us, but we were sweating in one room for a whole day, just going over and over it. So it's just repetition, I think, for 3 out of 4 of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always say when I talk to people in a group that the worst summer of my life was doing the Music Man in the barbershop quartet, singing the baritone line. I was like, I'm never going to get this down. It's you think it's easy. It is not easy. If I'm singing next to you, Scott and Simon, just give me the melody because you don't want to mess. So, Scott, what is it like in an American audience? You're going to be here in the U.S. What is it like when you come to the States and perform in front of people who may not have seen you on the West End, who may not have seen the Barricade Boys do shows and tour around the UK? What is it like when you come here and the energy in the room here in New York, especially?
Well, I got to be honest with you. I love American audiences because I just feel like from the minute you come out, they're on your side. They want to have a good time and they're willing you to be good. Whereas in the UK, it's slightly different. They're a bit more like, okay, impress us then. What have you got? That's kind of our kind of self-deprecation, the way we are as people. But yeah, I love the American audiences. They're always very respectful. They're always cheering. They and also I think you have a culture of loving musical theatre. Whereas I think sometimes in the UK we love theatre, but musical theatre is almost like a sort of second cousin to theatre. Whereas in America, it's musical theatre is very much at the front of theatre. And so when we come over and we get to sing all those amazing songs, I find the crowds they're incredible. It's a real privilege.
Oh, Simon, you're gonna walk on stage and New York City is gonna be ready. We're ready for it. We're ready for the show. Simon? I hope you get a slice of pizza. You eat a bagel. I mean, come on, it's New York City.
We do actually. Breakfast. We always catch breakfast. In fact, we hit juniors. We are terrible actually. All over America. We toured last year. We went to New Orleans. Well, we did that badly. We went to. You name it, we eat the local cuisine and we are not well. We're not good with it. So when it comes to New York, we'll eat all the stuff.
That's it. If you're listening to this or watching this right now, they'll be having cheesecake at Junior's right after the show. Come on. You have to. If you are looking for tickets, like we said before they're gone, go to 54below.org, 54below.org, and you can get your tickets. And like I said, show up early, get a meal, have a drink, and make an entire night of it. How often, Scott, do you change the set list? Is it going to be you guys have a steady set list every night? Do you are gonna just come out and hit us with an hour and a half worth of music?
Yeah, I mean, we have some standards that we know audiences love and that we love to perform. And, why would we change that? Because it's a bit like if you go and see, Billy Joel in Madison Square Garden and he doesn't do Uptown Girl, or if he doesn't do Piano Man, you're going to go, where's the songs that we love? So, there are some songs that we love to do and people like to hear. But we also try and change the set list a little bit. We've never done Defying Gravity until last year. We're kind of our own unique rock version, and we're putting that into the set this time at 54 Below, which is kind of exciting for us. I mean, you can't come to Broadway and not do something from Wicked, right?
No.
Exactly.
It did $4 million worth of tickets last week. The show is going to run forever.
I wish we did. Wish we'd done.
Me too. Simon, he just said, Billy Joel at the Garden. I just went and saw it, and he sings Uptown Girl and Piano Man, and he sings every single song that you want him to sing. It is greatest hits from top to bottom. When you get requests and comments, and what is it like when you walk out the stage door at 54 Below, or you walk out the stage door where you are, and you see people and their music means something to you? I'm sure you guys get lots of DMs and messages. What is it that is rewarding about being able to give some joy, especially in these past few years where we've been through some crazy stuff in this world? What's it like to be able to get up on stage and sing?
Well, I think we took it for granted, before the awful thing that happened that we can't mention anymore. But, during that time, we did we released our Bring Him Home, which seems to be everybody's favourite song, and we released that for the NHS, our National Health Service, to raise some money, and it got over 3 million views, I think. So that song means something now more than it ever has. But when it comes to Les Mis specifically, everybody has a favourite song, and it means something to somebody. So generally, it's always Bring Him Home or I Dream a Dream, or they always tell us they cried, and then we try and make them laugh, on other sections, such as the Jersey Boys or ABBA. We certainly don't take ourselves seriously in the show, that's for sure. It's certainly not a standalone ballad. It's quite energetic, to be honest, and really up-tempo and fun, and especially the ending. It's we really get you dancing in the aisles, hopefully. But
I'm excited. It's the 15th and the 16th. I have to. I'm coming. I'm checking this show out. I'm not missing a moment of this.
Please
got to see people that are ready to sing. It's the Barricade Boys, January 15th and 16th at 7 o'clock at 54 Below, and you can get your tickets at 54below.org. And if you are not, and if you are not in this area, they're going to be around. Don't miss it. They'll be around and touring. Go to barricadeboys.com or go to Instagram and follow them at Barricade Boys, and so that you can stay up to date, because I'm sure you all have a lot of plans and a lot of dates and a lot of goals and dreams, and they're all going to come true this year. I just know it. This is going to be a year of the Barricade Boys. We're ready for it.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Thank you both so much. Break legs. Have a blast. And one day I'm going to have to give you a slice of cheesecake on me. That's it.
Look, when you come and see the show, you can take us for a slice of cheesecake afterwards.
Done. Are you someone that wants a plain piece of cheesecake? Are you a strawberry, blueberry? Like, is it? This is a controversial question now.
I know.
I'm plain, I think.
You plain? I was going to say I quite like it plain, but sometimes when you put like the strawberries on top, you like the strawberry juice. That's quite nice.
All right, good.
I want some now. I'm so hungry.
Let's go. Congratulations, all the best. Break all the legs. We're ready for you.
Thanks, Robert.
Thank you.
How much do I love that? How much do I love all of those songs, from Les Mis to Jersey Boys to Billy Joel Town? It's like they made a show for me. I think they made a show for me. 54below.org. My show at 54 Below is coming up June 14th. We pride it up and talk about dancing in the street, talk about drag queens, talk about glitter and feathers and divas. So, you could always get more information about me at robertbannon.com. And you could watch us every single Thursday on YouTube with the Roundtable Live, and also listen to us on the Broadway Podcast Network. Say hello to my friends on the Broadway Podcast Network. Take a look at all the other content as well, because there's a lot of great stuff going on. We have so many great guests, so much fun and excitement going on. I love those Barricade Boys. I love Les Mis. Oh, yes. I always said to my friend Brian is out there. Brian E. is the music director of the tour of Les Mis, and I was always ready for him to give my master of the house, keeper of the. I was ready to give my audition. Somebody, come on, hire me. I'm ready.